Hello everyone, welcome to the German Mentor. My name is Jatinder Singh. In German language, when we make the sentences in the past tense, then we use the present perfect tense, which you can see on the screen. And while making the sentences in past, we use the two helping verbs. One is sein and the second one is haben. In German language, most of the verbs use haben as their helping verb, but some of them use the sein verb. So in this session, I'm going to explain you, I will tell you common 25 verbs which use sein as their helping verb. But how? What is the rule? What is the structure? So I'm going to explain you in detail. Watch the session till end. Like, comment, share, subscribe the channel, press the bell icon. So let's start today's session. Present perfect tense mit sein. So in this session, as I've just told you, top 25 verbs mid sign, I'm going to explain you one by one in this session. So when do we use sein verb as a helping verb? So there are basically two things which you have to keep in the mind. The first one is shows movement or a change of state. So if any verb answers to a question, is there any movement or is there any change of state or a condition of an object, of a person, then we have an idea to use the sein verb. How? For example, if you are standing on A position and you have to move to the second position, position B. So this is a movement case when you physically move from one place to another place, from A to B. So the movement can be done with the humans or with the animals or with the anything, right? And situation B, for example, if you are a child and you are now grown up. So this is a change of state. This is a change of condition. Earlier you were a child, now you are grown up and now you are an adult. So in these two situations where there is a movement from one place to another and when there is a change of state or a condition, then we use most oftenly sein verb as a helping verb while making the sentences in past form. So these two things are very important, two factors. Now you must know the conjugation of the sein verb because the subject can be anything like a person or a thing or anything. So the conjugation is an integral part while making the sentences in past form. So this is a conjugation just for your reference. When I will explain you in the next slide with the examples, these conjugation I will use. Okay. So now we see the very first verb, gehen. So it's a very regular and very common verb, which means to go. Zum Beispiel, ich bin zur Schule gegangen. I went to school. So there is a movement in this situation. I have gone to school, from my home to my school, and from to school coming back to my home. So there is a movement. So sein verb, I have conjugated with the subject ich, and you have to use the third form of the main verb. So gehen will change to gegangen. So ich bin zur Schule gegangen. I went to school. So this is a case of movement from one place to another. Now I hope that you have understood how we use the sein verb as a helping verb in past tenses. This was the number one. Now we check the number two. Nummer zwei, kommen, which means to come. Er ist nach Hause gekommen. He came home. So there is also a movement from one place to another. So kommen is also a very often verb which we use in daily conversation in the German language. That was number two. Number drei, the next one, fahren, which means to travel. So obviously when you make a travel, when you go from one place to another, then there is a movement. Zum Beispiel, wir sind mit dem Bus gefahren. We traveled by bus. So wir is a plural subject. So the conjugation will be sind, and fahren will change to gefahren. We traveled by bus. Okay. So there is a movement in this sentence as well. The next one, number vier, laufen, which means to run. Ich bin schnell nach Hause gelaufen. I ran fast to home. So this is another example showing the movement from one place to another. Laufen, which changes to gelaufen, and the subject is ich. So the conjugation will be bin. Ich bin. The next one, number fünf, rennen, which means to run. So there is also a movement in this verb. Sie ist zur Arbeit gerannt. She ran to work. So sie is the subject, so the conjugation will be ist, and rennen will change to gerannt. And one more thing, friends, I would like to convey here. In the regular verbs, you have to put the ge at the beginning of the verb while making the past tense in most of the case. Okay, so ge, and at the end you have to put extra te. So it happens with most of the regular verbs, right? The next one, Nummer 6, fallen, which means to fall. Zum Beispiel, das Glas ist auf den Boden gefallen. The glass fell on the floor. So there is also a change of movement from one place to another with the verb fallen to fall. The next one, Nummer 7, steigen, to rise. Die Preise sind stark gestiegen. The prices have risen sharply. So this is a change of state, a change of condition. It can be like the prices earlier was not so high, but now it has been changed. It has been risen. So the verb steigen changes to gestiegen. And one important thing I also share with you, that the verbs which having the combination a on e, that changes to e and a while making the past tense. So steigen will change to gestiegen. Okay, so that was about number 7, Nummer 7. Now we check the Nummer 8, sterben, which means to die. Mein Opa ist letztes Jahr gestorben. My grandfather died last year. So there is a change of state, change of condition. Last year he was there. Now he has gone, he has passed away. So sterben is a change of state. So mein Opa is the subject, so conjugation will be ist, and sterben changes to gestorben. Nummer 9, aufwachen, to wake up. Sie ist früh aufgewacht. She woke up early. So there is a change of state, the change of condition. So I have used here a separable verb, aufwachen. So you must know that while making the past tense with the separable verb, you put the ge after the prefix while making the past tense in the perfect form. Okay, so aufwachen will change to aufgewacht. So that was the verb aufwachen, to wake up, a change of state, change of condition. Nummer 10, the next one, einschlafen, which means to sleep. Das Baby ist schnell eingeschlafen. The baby fell asleep quickly. So this is also a case of change of state, not a movement, a change of state or a condition. So einschlafen is also the separable verb. So it follows the same rule which I just explained you earlier. So you have to put extra ge after the prefix in the past form. Number 11, the next one, ankommen, which means to arrive. So this is a movement case. Der Zug ist pünktlich angekommen. The train arrived on time. Ankommen is also a trennbaren verb, a separable verb. So an, dann ge, dann kommen. Angekommen. Number 12, the next one, the next verb, abfahren, to depart. So this is the opposite of ankommen, which you just saw in the previous slide. Der Bus ist schon abgefahren. The bus already departed. So abfahren will change to abgefahren because this is also a separable verb. Der Bus, subject, ist the conjugation. Nummer 13, reisen, which means to travel. So this is a case of movement. Wir sind nach Spanien gereist. We traveled to Spain. Nummer 14, bleiben, which means to stay or to remain. Der Patient ist zu Hause geblieben. The patient stayed at home. So this is an exceptional verb, a case because there is no such movement, there is no such change of state or condition. So you just learn by heart. Okay, so bleiben changes to geblieben. Der Patient is the subject, ist the conjugation. Now we check the next one, Nummer 15, sein, to be. So we are already learning the sein as a helping verb. So sein itself is a verb which use sein as helping verb. Ich bin noch nie in Paris gewesen. I have never been to Paris. So sein changes to gewesen in the past form, and the helping verb is also sein. Ich bin. So if you use some other subject, zum Beispiel ist, sie ist, you can also make the sentences with other subjects. Okay, so sein is also a verb which use sein as helping verb. Nummer sich sein, werden, to become. So werden is an old werden, which means to become. So werden also use sein as its helping verb. Mein Vater ist ein Lehrer geworden. My father became a teacher. So werden changes to geworden and the helping verb is sein. Nummer 17, passieren, which means to happen. Was ist hier passiert? What happened here? So this is also an exceptional case, passieren verb, because there is no such movement, there is no such change of state or condition. So earlier you saw the bleiben verb. So passieren is also another verb with exceptional case. Okay. So that was about number 17. Now we check the next one, number 18. Entstehen, which means to arise. Ein neues Problem ist entstanden. A new problem arose. So there is a change of state, change of condition. There is no such movement, but change of state. Entstehen, to arise. Number 19, the next verb, verschwinden, to vanish. Meine Schlüssel sind verschwunden. My keys vanished. For example, if you are walking through a street and you have lost your keys on the way, so there is a movement. Okay, so you can consider this verb as a change of movement. Verschwinden, which means to vanish. My keys vanished. Meine Schlüssel sind verschwunden. The next one, Nummer 20, springen, which means to jump. Das Kind ist ins Wasser gesprungen. The child jumped into the water. So there is a movement from one place to another place. Springen changes to gesprungen in the past form. The next one, Nummer 21, klettern, which means to climb. Wir sind auf den Berg geklettert. We climbed the mountain. So there is a change of movement. The next one, Nummer 22, number 22, zurückgehen, to go back. Ich bin nach Hause zurückgegangen. I went back to home. Perhaps I'm in the school, I'm in the college, and I went back to my home. So zurückgehen changes to zurückgegangen, and the subject ich will use the verb bin as a conjugation. The next one, Nummer 23, fliegen, which means to fly. Meine Familie ist nach Berlin geflogen. My family flew to Berlin. So this is a case of change of movement from one city to another city. And the second last verb of today's session, Nummer 24, aufstehen, to get up. Die Soldaten sind sofort aufgestanden. The soldiers got up straight away. So this is a change of state case, change of condition case. Aufstehen changes to aufgestanden. And now we see the last verb of today's session, Nummer 25, zurückkommen, to return. Gestern ist sie spät zurückgekommen. Yesterday she came back late. So this is a case of change of movement from one place to another place. So dear friends, in this session I have told you the common 25 verbs which use the sein verb as their helping verb. So what you have learned, when there is a movement from one place to another and when there is a change of state or a condition. So always question yourself whenever you learn a new verb, is the verb answers the question any movement or a change of state? Then most of the cases we use the sein verb, but still at the end I will recommend to learn the verbs in all the three forms, the present, preteritum and the perfect form with the helping verbs. If you like this session, give your valuable comments, your feedback, because it is a motivation for me to bring more and more grammar videos and vocabulary videos on this channel so that you can also enhance your language skills. At the end, thank you very much for watching the complete video. My name is Jatinder Singh. The number is there on the screen. If you are intended to learn the German, then contact me on my number or send me the messages. I will meet you in the next grammar video very soon. Take care of yourself. Learn German on the German Mentor. Einen schönen Tag noch. Bis bald. Tschüss. Auf Wiedersehen.